great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. But yeah, right now, I mean,
welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. It's your boy, Jim Hacking. How the hell are you? How is everybody doing today? I woke up in a really bad mood today. I had a headache. My sinuses were bothering me. I didn't sleep all that well, but I decided to turn it around. I turned on a little Dave Matthews. I jammed out to some Sledgehammer and some Trippin' Billies. Got myself squared away, got my mind right, did some meditation, did some journaling, did some planning, did some plotting. And here I am, happy at the end of the day to be with all of you. I sure do enjoy the show. I sure enjoy spending time with all of you. It's one of the highlights of my day. Nor got mad. She said that she heard me say it was the highlight of my day. And she said that the highlight of my day should be when I get home to see the family, which of course it is. Speaking of the Norinator, I have big news. We will not have a show tomorrow. And the reason we will not have a show tomorrow is because even though Noor is a freshman and has been splitting time on the junior varsity soccer team as the goalie, playing a half a game, she's been called up to the varsity team, and she's going to play with all the seniors and juniors tomorrow. But it's like an hour away, so I won't be able to do a show tomorrow. Oh, no, wait. No, I am going to do a show tomorrow. See, God, I'm crazy. The show's going to be at 10 a.m. Central, 10 a.m., right, Huli? See, why do I even get involved in the scheduling? I am doing a show tomorrow at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock tomorrow will be the last show of the week. No show this weekend. We are traveling for softball. What's new with all of you? Tyrone was here early, giving out the happy Thursday at 8:40 a.m. How about that? Hina is here. Working hard. Alvin is here. Hello, Alvin. The link is below. There you go. You got it. Okay. Is Alvin in the waiting room? Let's see. Nope. All right. We got Angel is here. Saludos from North Dakota. Thank you, Jay Cruz. Everyone's dropping some Spanish on us. Yusuf is back. Jay Cruz did get the merch box because she won the Jimmigration Bingo. That was fun. All right. Yusuf got some news. Maybe we should start with Yusuf from yesterday. Hello, Yusuf from yesterday.
Hello, Jim from Everyday. How's it going?
How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So I have a quick update and a question about yesterday's case. So today they would not let me in without an appointment, so I wasn't able to see a supervisor, which is unfortunate. But I was reading something that I might be able to ask them to put the correct name on the certificate and the day of the oath, and then change my name legally in a court later after that. Not sure if that's correct or not. Or I could leave my name as it is right now using my father's name as middle name. Either options are fine. But my question is, I have a couple of friends who either are in the process for a green card or they already got it, and they will probably go through the same naming issue like I did. But either cases, should they do anything about right now, or just leave it like it is? What do you think?
Before they get their green card or before they get their citizenship?
So the ones who already got their green card will be waiting for citizenship, of course, and the ones who are in process. So either case, should they fix their names right now or just leave it?
Well, those are different questions, because my position is that no one should mess around with their name until they get their citizenship.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's simple.
So, I mean, if I were you, it depends. If you need your citizenship tomorrow or Saturday when you have your appointment, then you might just go through it and let him change your name to whatever that dumb officer put on the form because he was too lazy to do his job. Or You could just say, hey, look, this guy screwed it up. I told him what name I wanted. I put it on my N400. He made this dumb change. This is not the name that I want. I either want to get my oath ceremony rescheduled, or I'll sit here and wait until you guys can do it so that the ceremony can begin on time and stuff. You know, I don't know how they'll handle it, but it all depends on how much of a stink you want to make about it.
Sure. I mean, anyways, I will not be able to do anything right now because it's Saturday. So
Yeah.
I'll see what's gonna happen then. But
All right.
yeah.
Well, let us know next week. Thanks, Yusuf.
Thank you.
Bye, buddy. All right. Wenken's here. Hello, Wenken.
Hi, I'm good, Jane.
What's up?
Yes, hi. Yeah, you know what? I just received the interview for my I-485 on this month's 8th after I submit my RFE. 3 days later, I'm sorry. 3 days later, I just received that interview noticed. So I want to see if it's a good. I got my interview so quick.
Well, what kind of a green card are you applying for? Marriage based?
Yes, marriage based.
And what was your status before you applied for your green card?
It's a visa expired.
How long have you been out of status?
Oh, it's been very long. I got here like 2013, and after that, after I got here, 1 month later, I just got a very serious accident. So I was stuck here, and my attorney do the visa extension for me.
But you've been out of status for a long time.
Yes, yes.
And now you're married to a U.S. citizen?
Yes, my husband is a U.S. citizen. Yes.
Which what did they ask you for in the RFE? Just your medical, or what else?
No. Because I made a mistake for the public charge, which is a Part 8. Yeah, I indicated I'm not in charge with that, but actually the answer is yes. But I choose the no, so they let me to refill that form and sign the name next to each answer, just the Part 8. But I just filled all the form and send them back. So 3 days later, they just send me that.
Have you or your spouse been married before?
I never been married, but he married and he divorced on 2010. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it is a long time ago. Was he born in the United States?
Yes.
Did the prior marriage involve getting someone a green card or no?
No, never.
So this is
his ex is a American. Yes.
Okay. And what field office is it?
It's Los Angeles, county.
Okay.
Field.
And so, do I think it's a good sign that your case got? I mean, most green card cases right now are not getting scheduled for interview. But when you've been out of status for 11 years, I think that's fine. They'll probably just want to make sure the marriage is real and bring some updated marital evidence and make sure that you can prove that you didn't get married just to get a green card. I think it should be okay.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is okay. You're saying it's like so they will ask me how I survived during the past 11 years.
Yeah, mostly they want to know if you work, that's okay. So be honest about all your working. Be honest about the overstay.
But I'm just worried about those things because you know what? Under I-485, I just tick that no. They ask you, right, if you are work under unauthorized. So I tick that
you put
no.
no. Why would you put no if the answer was yes? That was dumb.
Because I'm not really sure which one I have to, because I have I-10.
Yeah, that
So
doesn't
is that
matter.
illegal?
An I-10 doesn't give you the right to work in the United States. So, in fact, I would bet that the reason you're having an interview is because you marked that thing no instead of yes. They don't believe you. They don't believe that someone's been in the United States for 11 years and not worked. So if I were
But I
you,
can prove that because you know what? I got 3 years very serious accident during this 11 years.
So
The
you're saying, hold on,
first time.
hold on. So you're saying in the last 11 years, you have not worked one single day in the United States?
Yeah.
You haven't worked one day?
Yeah.
So that answer was accurate.
But I'm sorry.
So when you put down that you've never worked without authorization, that was true, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
So do you think I need to prove them? Because I already called my attorney office, because that's the first accident, it's like 11 years ago. So I called them. I want to get that documentary, to prove
I think
that first.
I think that's smart. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first case. And the second case was, occurred on the 2015. That's just like I just got the first accident happened, then, another accident again. So, I'm actually, I'm here was a survivor. I'm being honest, that's a very terrible situation, or that's why I
Yeah.
was stuck here.
So that's all good. And if that's the truth, that's the truth. And that
Yes,
would be a
that's the
way to.
truth.
Okay. All right. Well, then go with that and good luck.
Yeah. So I still just bring all those, a documentary to them, right, and explain to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if they, so you said you have an I-10 number. If they, have you ever filed
Yes.
Have you ever filed taxes or anything? No.
No. No.
I mean,
Maybe it's once, because once because I hit that I was at casino.
I'm just saying that if you go in there and you say you've never worked, they're going to try really hard to prove that you worked. They're going to dig deep. They're going to look at the taxes. They're going to see if you've ever worked. And if you did, you're in trouble. So if nothing else, if nothing else, say it's been a long time. I don't think I've ever worked in the United States. And the way I supported myself was through these lawsuits that I had. I wouldn't say, unless you're 100% sure that you've never worked a single day in your life, not one day, unless you're 100% sure of that, I'd be real careful with how you answer that question.
But what if for you, as you said, or because I ticked the no, but when I say yes, is that,
Well, now that's a different thing. Are you telling me that now you're ready to say yes?
I just don't know. What should I say? Because,
Well, if you're telling me no because you think that's the better answer and it's not the truth, that's what's going to get you in trouble. If you understand that if you worked and you're married to a U.S. citizen and it's a real marriage, you understand that it's all forgiven, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Okay. So that's why you're fighting me so hard. So if someone's been in the United States for 11 years and they worked all 11 years, if you worked every single day,
no,
I'm just saying, I know, sweetheart, I know. But let's say you did. Let's say you did work for 11 years. And you go into that office and you say, I need to change the answer on my 485. On my 485, I said no, I'd never worked. But I talked to a lawyer and now I realize that I did work and I need to be honest about that. So here's where I've worked while I've been in the United States. And you tell them all that, that's all going to be forgiven because you were honest about it. But if you stick to this story of I never worked and they find out that you worked, then you're never going to get your green card because you lied to them. So working without permission is forgiven, but lying to them is not forgiven. So that's why you have to be really careful.
Yeah. So that's what I all worry about that. So I don't know what's supposed to be the answer supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
The truth is the answer. The truth is the answer.
But I made it wrong because I ticked the no. So do you think I have a chance to explain?
Well, number one, you should bring an attorney with you to your interview because this is going to get messy now. You should bring an attorney. We have an attorney in LA if you want her to go with you. I don't know when the interview is, but you can. Yeah. But even if you don't do that, what I would do is I would type up that question
Mm.
and the answer, and I'd write yes. And then I would list where I worked. And before the officer tells you to sit down, I would say, before we get started, I need to make a correction on my form. Here it is, and hand it to them. Because that way, because sometimes they'll say, well, you didn't really admit it in your interview until I confronted you with the fact that you worked at Walmart back in 2017. Oh, that's when you admitted it. So the biggest thing right now is the lying. That's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. I want to be honest, so I want to know how to correct that thing. And I also can bring a lot, documentary, which is augured that case, I
Yeah,
just worked a little bit.
both can be true. Both can be
Yes.
true. You could have worked and you got a settlement, or two settlements. So that's good. So send me an email, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, and we'll try to help you out.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thanks, Winkin. See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye. All right, I'm going to try to use my Russian here. I think we have someone named Yulia Strishkova. I don't know. I think I got it. Let's see. Did I get it?
Yes, you got it perfectly.
Awesome. How you doing, Yulia?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, Mr. Jim. I have a long story short. Me and my husband, we had a successful interview in 2021, marriage based. I'm the beneficiary, and now it is time to remove the conditions on residency. And we are preparing Form I-751 and preparing the evidence. In terms of evidence, we got life insurance policies, we got bank statements of joint account, and 3 tax returns for the past years. My question is, 2 of the tax returns show a good amount of money earned, but the third one, the last year, was pretty bad money-wise, like income-wise.
Yeah.
It's only 9,000 adjusted gross income, and I was gonna ask you if we need a sponsor or not.
Nope, not for a 751. You're past all that business, so you don't have to worry about that. What about big purchases or a lease? What's the deal with the lease or the mortgage or what?
We moved in together with his parents. We live in their house.
Okay.
Basically, we have no lease. We have no bills for electricity, none of those.
Okay, so I think that they're going to give you some grief about that. So I think you want to prove up their living relationship. So if you guys are living in that house of his parents, I think you want to document that. You probably want affidavits from the mom and the dad. In other words, that's sort of a weakness. The fact that you don't have a lease or a mortgage yet, that's not what they're used to seeing. I said on LinkedIn a couple weeks ago that the best evidence of a shared life is a baby, and somebody, an immigration attorney corrected me and said, actually, it's a mortgage or a lease. So I think that's all debatable. But to their point, USCIS is going to expect that after 2 years out that you don't live with mom and dad anymore. So that's like a weakness. But I think you can turn that on its head and make it a strong point by saying, my name is Yulia's dad, Yulia's father-in-law, Ivan, and I'm Ivan, and Yulia lives in our house. Every day, she and her husband sleep in the same room. They live in the same room. I see them eat breakfast. I see them in love. Like, just lay it all on and have it like a 5-page affidavit showing that they live there with them, explaining why they live there with you, and then have them sign it under oath in front of a notary and submit that. So, in other words, while it's not great that you haven't spent money together, a lot of money together, you just got to make it as strong as you can. And the living arrangements are going to be a big question for them.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. We are working on the letter with the mom.
But remember, notarize. So, yep. Okay, great. Thanks, Yulia. Good luck.
Thank you.
See ya. Yeah, Vadim's always checking out my Russian, so I'm glad about that. I had a consult today with somebody in Russia who is from Russia. So there you go. Gior's here. Hi, Gior.
Yeah, my name's George. Jim. Hi, nice to meet you, Jim.
Hi, George. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing really great. I've been following your YouTube since I think 2 months ago. Or
Great, great.
yeah,
How did you find it in the first place?
I find you through the YouTube, your channel maybe.
Sure, sure, sure.
So yeah, you want me to explain my problem?
Please.
So yeah, when I saw you, I was over the Malaysia overseas. So right now I get back to United States, but I don't know how to connect with you at the time. But now, I got called this morning through your YouTube phone number, and yeah, I went direct to maybe your secretary or yeah. So yeah, my situation right now is we were filing our I-130, I think 2 or 3 years ago, say 2020 or 21, I'm not quite sure that day. And then it goes years by year is USCIS approving and the National Visa Center approving. But finally, like January 30, my wife got an interview over the Malaysia embassy. So the problem here arises in our marriage is not registered with the Malaysia government. So they told us we cannot process your visa. So yeah. So let me explain it about a little bit here why our marriage cannot be registered with Malaysia government was my wife. She's a refugee. She's a refugee, so the Malaysia government does not register any refugee to the course. So we just use our marriage certificate for the church with the notary or affidavit. I don't know how to call that with the Malaysia over there with the everything, and then we submit it to the USCIS. So USCIS say yes, process it. National Visa say process it, but finally yeah, the counselor over the Malaysia told us that. So yeah,
Okay.
what?
So
Yeah, okay.
what was the so I'm gonna pull up, George. I'm gonna pull up the reciprocity table, okay? Have you looked at that at all?
Um, no, I don't know.
Okay. So the State Department, so that they don't have to look it up each time, the State Department has gone through country by country and
Okay.
explained what's available from each country. Now, truth be told, in here, it doesn't say much about refugees from in Malaysia, right? But
Yeah,
it tells you the name. Is this for Muslims or non-Muslims?
yeah, we are non-Muslim. We are Christians.
Yep. So down here, I saw
Okay.
registration of marriages can only be solemnized at an Association Temple church where the National Registration Department has appointed an assistant registrar of marriages. They're issued a certificate of appointment for a specific period to perform the marriage registration at the place specified in the certificate. So it tells you who issues the marriage certificate, the Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara, JPN, and it tells you that it's on light blue, pink, or light green with a holographic seal. So that's the only thing they're going to accept at the embassy to prove that the marriage was valid. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So yeah, Jim. So the problem is when I went to the marriage over the Malaysia government office, I explained to their situation. So they told me that since your wife is a refugee, they they cannot register our marriage at all. And then I brought that the letter from the embassy, they rejected as well, and our marriage certificate for church. Um, yeah, so they still say since you are a refugee, they cannot register our marriage. So
What country is your wife from?
my wife, she's from Burma, you know the country, Myanmar.
Yeah.
And then she right now live in the Malaysia with the refugee status. So
Okay.
yeah,
So I think that it sounds like I hate to say it, it sounds like you might be starting over, which would really, really stink. But
okay,
before I do that, I would hire a lawyer in Malaysia to see if that information is correct or incorrect as far as whether or not you could have gotten it registered. you're gonna have to figure out what the rules are in Malaysia and probably do it all over again. But maybe there's some way you can keep this one alive. I think to not lose the 2 years you've lost so far, I think it's worth spending a little money on a lawyer in Malaysia to see if your marriage is valid or not.
So yeah, Jim, let me explain to you a little bit more here. So I do call the lawyer over the Malaysia, so explain to their situation going on, my situation with my embassy over the US embassy. We need a proof of marriage certificate. But yeah, when they do research, they give me a call back. Yeah, they say because the refugee, the Malaysia government not gonna be registered for your marriage certificate.
Okay.
So I
So
went done. I don't, and then I'm not happy with that. And just trying to drive down the road until their registration center, and they told me about the same. But I still have an attorney over over the US here that trying to explain about that. But the counselor over there told us that they already returned our case to the
it
to the
sounds like everybody's in agreement that the marriage isn't valid for purposes of immigration. So it sounds like you have to figure out some other country to get married in. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to bring her.
yeah.
And you got to
So
start over.
So okay, Jim, let me explain to you honestly. At that time, I went through the Utah County, married through the remote over there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I got my apostille and marriage certificate through the Utah right now when I was over there. So, what do you think about this certificate? You know.
Is there nowhere by Malaysia where you can go and get married face to face?
Yeah, I'm trying. I call to the lawyer over there as well. I myself go to their office as well. That's all they trying to explain to me their way that they cannot do that. So yeah, it was really hard to me at the time. So I find out the option online with the Utah County client.
Okay,
So
so if you're going to go that route, then the one thing is you're going to have to prove that it was consummated. So sometime after you get married under the Utah rules, you're going to have to go back there and see your wife. Otherwise, they won't honor that marriage because you have to prove that you consummated the marriage.
oh, okay. So here, Jim, when I'm marrying through the Utah County with the official, I stay over the Malaysia. So we have proof of the picture.
Oh,
Picture we married.
You were together when you got married under the Utah.
Yes, right. We were together over there through the remote with our witness and witness US here.
Okay.
So
Now
I got okay.
you
Go ahead.
got to withdraw the old case, otherwise it's going to slow down the new case.
They're gonna slow down the new case.
Yeah.
So so I don't know what to do right now. If we trying to file another one, she will still need to withdraw the new case, or the USCIS when I called it, they told me you have to wait it for at least 6 months in order to review your case. That's all they told me. So
Yeah. I would still send them withdrawal notice. I got to get going, George. Thanks, buddy.
okay, all right. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for your information.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Yep.
See ya. All right, Kim's here. Kim's got good news, I think.
Yes. Hello, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
So yesterday I have my case approved. And first of all, it was I-485. And like in 6 hours later, it was I-130. The main concern is they add my father's patronymic name as my middle name. I don't have a middle name. And I have the PDF file, which is with my new name. So I think in my whole case, there was only one place where this, my father's patronymic name, is used. It's my birth certificate of birth.
What about your passport?
I don't have anything in my passport. I don't have my patronymic. I don't have any middle name. I just only have my first name and my last name everywhere. I never used any middle name or any patronymic.
Okay.
So I sent the service request. I can do it online, so I did. And what should I expect? Or maybe I can do anything else, like call them or drive to them.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a green card and it says Kim patronymic last name, Will that make you mad, or will that bother you?
Yes, because it is not my patronymic name. It's my father's patronymic name.
Oh, it's not even his name. It's his dad's patron. It's his dad's name.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you. Okay, so when you get your green card, this is what you're going to do. You're going to fill out an I-90,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to explain that it's their error and you shouldn't have to pay, and you're going to send them a copy of your green card.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably, Kim, they're going to reject it and say, "Oh no, this is your mistake. You got to pay." And then you're going to send it back with a big letter saying, "You morons, this is your mistake. I'm not paying for this. You got." And then like 2 or 3 times, then they'll receipt it without you paying. And then they'll start processing it. They'll figure out their mistake. It'll take like 9 or 10 months. And then at the very end, they'll ask you to send you the green card that they gave you, and they'll swap it out for the right one. But don't send them the green card right away. Hold on to it as long as you can until you think they're done.
So I already sent the I-90
Okay.
where I explain everything.
Wait. You haven't gotten the green card yet, and you already sent the I-90?
Yes, because I have I-485 approval, which
Yeah, but you should wait to see what you get.
Okay, so there is no chances, or maybe there is a chance.
No chances. No chances they're going to fix this before they send you the actual green card.
Okay.
This is a train delivering. This is a train going 100 miles an hour directly to your house with the green card with Grandpa's name as your middle name.
Yeah, it's unexpected. It's like the problem from the air, from
Idiots.
Nothing.
Idiots. Yeah. All right, thanks, Kim.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, bye. All right, next up is Alvina. Alvina is up next. Hello. Oh, nope. Hello, Alvina.
Hi, can you hear me?
Got you, buddy. How you doing? I'm
doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm great, man. What's up?
All right, I'll just make it quick. So I filed a petition for judicial review, a 1447B petition for my N400 application because 120 days has passed.
My favorite.
Yeah, because I've heard that it works. But then when I looked into it, I did more research about it. I discovered that most of the time the courts are just going to remand it to USCIS to adjudicate again. And usually they give it a time limit. So my question is, what is the best outcome that I can expect from this now that I filed this suit? And what if they don't adjudicate within the time limit? And what if they deny it within the time limit?
Well, first of all, if we had to guess, why do you think they're sitting on the case? Why haven't they just approved it?
Yeah, I don't really have a straightforward case. So first, just very quick background. I sought asylum at the Californian border. I was placed in ICE detention. I was in ICE detention for 4 months, and then I was granted asylum at EOIR. So that's one thing already. And the next thing is I was arrested in my home country for speaking up against Islam. So I'm also from a Muslim country, so I think there might be some concern about the CARRP program thing that I heard. So it's not that straightforward. But in terms of the preceding 5 years before I applied for my N400, clean as a whistle, not even a single moving violation, nothing.
Anything at your interview that happened that was weird?
Well, the interview was actually 35 minutes, which I thought was pretty long. Very junior ISO. She asked a lot about my job history as well as my asylum case. So she was asking a lot about when I was arrested in my home country, what was the specific nature of the crime, what specific statute I was prosecuted under. So there was a lot of discussion about my asylum case.
And I assume that when you applied for your green card, you listed that arrest?
Absolutely. My green card, my I-485 and N400 are the same. They're identical. Same information. I disclosed everything. Identical. Great. I disclosed everything identically. There's no discrepancy.
Which field office?
Los Angeles.
And did you file your 1447B with an attorney or on your own?
I did it pro se. I did it like 2 weeks ago. I'm going to file proof of service in a couple of days if I do get the return receipts.
Yeah. So LA will most definitely probably ask for remand, and you'll ask for instructions. So when the U.S. attorney reaches out to you, you'll say, "Hey, I'm agreeable to remand, but I want a decision within 60 days of remand," and the judge will go along with it, and the U.S. attorney will go along with it. If they're not even just a lot of times they'll just say, "Jim, we're ready to rule. Will you agree to remand?" And I go, "Yeah," and then it's days.
If they're ready to rule, do they actually give a clue as to which way they're going to rule? Because if they're going to deny me, then obviously I'm going to fight the motion to remand. I don't want to remand it if they're going to deny me.
Oh, because you want the judge to decide?
I mean, if they gave a clue that they're going to deny me, if they gave a clue that they're going to approve me, then obviously, let's do a joint motion to remand, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Usually they do tell us what they're going to do, especially if it's an approval, and if they don't, then that's usually a sign that it's a denial. But see, most judges, and again, with pro se, they're all going to try to dick around with you. The court's going to try to dick around with you. The U.S. attorney is going to try to screw around with you. So, they're going to try to tie you up. If they think they can mess with the case because you don't have an attorney and you don't know the federal rules of civil procedure, they're going to try to mess with you, I think. And so the judge could rule on your case, but 99 times out of 100, they don't want to. They want USCIS to. So unless you get the exact right judge, most likely they're going to agree to remand even if you don't. And then what would happen is if you get denied, then you have to bring an N-336 and then go back to federal court for a judicial review of the denial.
So, if they deny it, then I have to file a separate suit. Is that what you say?
Well, actually, first you have to file an N-336, which is another administrative review down the hall, and then back to federal court.
Right. But what if they don't complete adjudication within the time limit set by the court? Does that ever happen?
No, they always do.
Always do.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've heard that a lot of these N400s are stalled because of the background checks, the name checks, and all these things. And I've heard that it's not up to them. It's really up to FBI or whoever they're liaising with. And if there's a delay there, then they can't really do anything. And if they don't have that information within 30 days or 60 days, then they're going to be forced to deny it.
That's all BS. That's all BS. We don't have your background check was done a long time ago. That's all just BS.
Okay.
So let's look at the statute real quick. If there's a failure to make a determination, which of the N400 before the end of the 120-day period after the examination is conducted, the applicant may apply to the U.S. District Court for the district in which the applicant resides for a hearing on the matter. Such court has jurisdiction over the matter and may either determine the matter, which means decide whether or not you get your citizenship, or remand the matter with appropriate instructions to the service to determine the matter. So that's 1447B, right? And so most judges don't want to mess around with this, and they're just going to remand it even if you don't want them to. And then Section A right above, that gives you that right to an administrative appeal. If after an examination under Section 1446 an application is denied, the applicant may request a hearing before an immigration officer. So that's somebody who's of equal level of the officer who denied your case or higher. So, and then after that, then you can go back to federal court for what's called de novo review, where the judge reviews it on their own, and they're more willing at that point to review it on the merits. But most likely, they're not going to get to the merits on a 1447B. Most likely.
Right. So, if they deny it and I exhaust my appeal with USCIS, I can bring it to federal court for them to review de novo. So there's no chance they're going to remand it again at that point, right? Because USCIS has already made a decision at that point.
Can't at that point. Nope.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just worried because, what are they sitting on it for so long? Like you say, if the background checks are done.
Did you throw out? You said some letters about your asylum case. Were you in some group that you're worried about? You said an abbreviation of letters or something, and I missed that.
I said CARRP. I thought that
CARP.
was
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was like a program that USCIS had. And
I
thought
didn't hear that's what you said. Okay.
Yeah.
Usually with asylum cases, the one thing they explore is memberships in any other groups. So if there's any groups that you listed that were in your asylum application that are problematic now, that's the kind of thing where they might let you get your green card but not your citizenship, or they catch it late. So, but it sounds like you've listed everything all the way throughout. So I think you're okay on that front.
Okay. So what's the holdup most likely?
Oh, they don't believe that you don't like Muslims. They believe you're really a secret Muslim and that you're here to spy on the United States. I say that as a Muslim. I converted to Islam 25 years ago, so that's what it is.
Okay, I'm not sure if you're saying it ironically or unironically.
No, that's CARP.
Right, because I'm from a Muslim country, but I'm not a Muslim. So
right, but even if you're not, they still think you are, and so they use CARP against you.
Right.
Thanks, Alvin. Let us know how it goes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks, Jim.
Bye, buddy. See ya. Yeah, for sure. All right. Engineer MD, Dr. MD, you're on mute.
Hey, can I turn off my camera if you don't mind?
It is Thursday. That's the camera turn-off day. Go
All
right ahead.
Thank you. Hey, so I have an H-1B case pending in Canada, Calgary, and since February 1st, due to prior criminal history record, and records were expunged. There were 3 charges. Was second-degree assault and false imprisonment and disorderly conduct. And the state decided not to prosecute, so they gave final outcome as a nolle prosecute. And I submitted the court documents, final disposition, as the part of the admin processing. I'm just waiting. I don't know what would be the outcome for this, and what should I do right now.
Is this an initial H-1B, a renewal? Where you went to
initial.
Okay, so what country are you from?
India.
And you live in Canada?
Yeah, I went to Canada for stamping.
So that's my point. So you're already in the United States.
I was in the United States.
And you left the United States to go get a stamp?
Yes, in Canada.
And now you've been stuck outside the United States?
Correct.
Everybody listening, this is why I tell you, don't leave the United States to go get a visa stamp on your H-1B, because what happens is they don't let you come back. How long ago did you go for stamping?
Well, I went on February 1st.
And when was your appointment?
Yeah, February 1st.
What did they say?
Oh, they asked to submit the court documents, even though I went with these documents, and an officer looked at these documents, asked me to email these documents to the NIV unit.
And this is for incidents that happened in the United States?
Yes, in 10 years ago.
And you're saying all charges were dropped?
Yeah, all charges were dropped, and there was no fine, there was no restriction by judge, and the judge ordered a stet in Maryland for 6 months.
Ordered what?
In Maryland, there's called stet, S-T-E-T, stet.
Stet?
Stet, yes. And then the court disposition was nolle prosequi.
Wait, so this is something where you pled guilty and for a while you were guilty and then...
No, I did not plead guilty. I did not plead guilty.
Wait, so did you have to do community service?
Nothing.
Or...
No probation before judgment, no community service, no fine at all.
Okay, so what's the question?
So my question is, what is your take on this? What are chances of getting visa, and what can be done at this point other than waiting?
I mean, you can wait a couple months and then you can sue them. I think that there's probably more, that the criminal stuff is more complicated than you think, and I think obviously that's what's keeping you from being able to come back. I think that you could be out of the United States for a while, 3 to 6 months. And if 3 or 4 months go by, you might need to sue them to see what they want to decide. Right now, they're not thinking about your case. Right now, they're just sitting on it.
Okay. So they said do not contact for 6 months. So, so if I cannot contact, how would I know what's happening?
They're just sitting on it, dude. They're not letting you come back.
Okay. So what are my next steps then? Just wait?
I mean, if I were you, I would wait the full 90 days from February 1st and then think about suing them. Otherwise, they're just going to ignore it.
Okay. As per the case, do you think it falls under CIMT or conviction
no
for
idea.
immigration?
I have no idea. That's a really complicated analysis where you have to look at the statute and the documents and everything.
Mm.
But if all they did was wait 6 months, it suggests it wasn't. I mean, false imprisonment and secondary assault; those aren't nothing. Those are serious charges. So I don't know.
Okay. All right. So
Thanks for the call.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Khan. Hello, Khan. Hello. I can't hear you. Khan, we can't hear you, bud. We'll come back, my friend. We'll come back. You're going to like this, Jim. What do you say, G?
Hey, what's up, Jim? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. At least I thought I was okay, but recently I've been doing some research online and I might not be that okay.
What happened?
I came here in the United States on an F1 visa, August 2019. I'm from Italy. I was born in Switzerland, but I'm from Italy. So I started my studies. I'm doing a PhD. I'm almost done. And then 2 years in, I met my now wife. And then a year after, so that was like 2022, we moved in together. We went to Italy. We came back. And then next year, we got married. And then filed the I-130. And then we left. We went to Italy for 2 weeks, and we came back. And I'm in the United States now. So I went through the customs normally, just gave them passport and stuff. And then like 40, 50 days after that, we filed the 485. We got like an RFE a couple of months later, like medical and stuff. And now we're just waiting. But I thought it would be simpler than it is, but I think I might have messed up a little bit. Or
what do you think you messed up?
Because when we filed the 130, I thought it was just telling the government that we got married. Like we had to, because I'm not a national, like a US citizen or a national or anything. But in my mind, it wasn't really saying anything about me having an intent to immigrate. And to be honest with you, we weren't really thinking about that. We're just like, going to Switzerland, maybe. We had like a few different options thinking about it. But when I came back in, like my only thought was just, going back to school and finishing my PhD, which I'm about to graduate. So I guess that's good. But I am kind of like, the timeline. Filing the I-30, and then
let's go over the timeline. When did you enter before you filed the I-130? So you got married, when did you enter and get married? What was the entry date and the date of marriage?
So that would be July 2022, and then the I-30 would be like 11 months after that.
Okay, when did you get married?
June 2023.
So you were out of status when you got married?
No, I'm not out of status.
Oh, you were on an F1. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you entered in July of 22. You get married in June of 23. You filed,
and then filed the I-30 and leave again.
Yeah. So you filed the I. Yeah, that wasn't good, but that's okay. When did you leave the United States?
Like 2 weeks after the 130.
Okay. And so that would be like July of 23.
Yeah,
And then when did you come back?
like 2 weeks later.
And then, so then we're talking end of July 2023. And when did you file the 45?
Like September.
Less than 60 days after you arrived or more?
Yeah, I think it was less. It was like 45.
Yeah. I mean, one, I think they're going to think you're just clueless. You didn't know any, and no one would do any of the things you knew you did if they knew how the rules worked.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I thought, being in Europe and just moving around like without it being anything, I thought it would be fine.
When did you first come to the United States on your student visa?
August 2019.
So you've been here a long time. And so, and like you said, you've continued your studies. So I think you have arguments that when you came back from that 2-week trip, it wasn't your intention to like jump the line or anything. You were just, I mean, you just got you just got too used to being like everybody else and coming and going, and you were a little bit too loose with it.
I do that every year. Like I left and for conferences and just, coming back to the US, it was always like just giving the passport, like mostly no questions, like or anything. So I kind of like
specifically, do you remember anything from the time that you entered right before you filed the 45 when you came back in July?
Right before? No, just
that last entry. Do you remember anything about it?
Before the I-30.
Before the 45.
No, it was just like 8 p.m. Just gave the passport. She just looked at it, did something on the computer, and that was it.
Did you travel with your spouse?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think
she was on the other line though, because then she got asked traveling with someone. She said, "Yeah, my husband is on the other line," but didn't really have like anything.
I think generally this is going to be fine. I think that most likely they're going to approve the green card without an interview. If they call you in, then you just got to explain, look, I'm sort of this happy PhD clueless guy from Italy. I'm not saying you're clueless, but you sort of play up clueless.
I am clueless. I was until the point now, which is like after the fact,
Yeah. Yeah. So just tell them.
Yeah. Okay. My wife kind of like freaked out. We didn't really look at anything before that, like no question, like at anyone. And then we filed, and then I looked because I wanted to
I'm sort of laughing. I'm sort of laughing about what you said as far as the I-130 being the way we alert the government that a non-citizen got married. So that sort of shows that you were just sort of fumbling around. So I think you're fine.
All right. Yeah, my wife is kind of like freaking out because she's like, are they gonna deport me or anything?
Yeah, so, I think you're fine.
All right. Well, thanks, Jim. Thanks for your time.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. See ya. Daryl got approved. What up, Daryl?
What's up, Jim?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I've been waiting for the calls for so long now.
Oh, great. Well, tell me what happened.
So I called you last year. So I came in as a visitor. I changed my status to a student, and I'm still in school. And well, long story short, I and my wife filed. I'm out of breath. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
So I had my wife filed. This was last year, 2023, February, and I got approved for the work authorization. This was in July.
Yeah.
And this year, February, I got approved for the travel parole, and 7 days later, I got approved for the I-130, and then they sent the medical RFE. And 3 days after sending the medical, they approved the I-485.
Awesome.
Yeah, so they just produced the green card. So probably in like 6 to 7 days, I'll have it.
Awesome. So what's the timeline start to finish?
The timeline is, the long timeline is like 14 months. I applied February 3rd, 2023. The I-485 got approved like last week, Tuesday.
That's great. So did you have a question for me, or just wanted to give me the good news?
I just want to give you the thumbs up because I've been listening to your show since 2021. Your previous shows, I've got so many information from your shows. I I've educated myself. The evidences and support that I sent was substantial. It was over 10. So I thank you. I thank God also because, without wisdom to like search for you, Jim Hacking, I wouldn't have had all this knowledge that I used to like get up my evidences to send them. So it's been a long immigration journey because from a B2 visa to an F1 to a resident now, I thank God Almighty and I thank you too, Jim. Thank you very much.
Oh, Daryl, you made my day, man. Thanks so much for the call. That was great.
Yeah, thank you too, Jim.
See you, buddy. Yep. What a nice call that was. All right. Thank you, Daryl. Wait a minute. Julie's talking to her dog or cat. That's a cat. Doesn't it look like Julie's in a tent or something?
Yeah, I'm on country, we'll say.
Oh, nice.
So I brought her. She likes to travel with me.
Nice.
I made her.
That's awesome.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna take one more, I think, or one or two more. Let's see. Asif is here. He's been waiting. Hi, Asif.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Good, good. I would like to say thank you. You helping the other people. So it's very thank you. So
Sure.
I have like couple question, Jim. So one is I filed I-30 petition for my wife. It actually is my second marriage. So I divorced the first one. So she has couple kids. So the kids living with her mom. So I don't know. So how much will be the income for when they ask me for the affidavit of support?
Okay. So, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am U.S. citizen.
Were you born in the United States?
No, I born at Pakistan.
How did you get your green card? Was it from your first marriage?
No, so I came with my mom and dad.
Okay. All right, great. And so your first marriage, did that involve immigration at all, or was that just like to an American person or what?
The first, I'm sorry.
You said you're on your second marriage, right?
Yeah, the first marriage divorce, unfortunate, is the happen is like the domestic violence. So I'm sorry about that to say, you
You
know.
mean you had a charge against you for domestic violence?
Yes, yes.
Okay, but that person that you married, were they a U.S. citizen?
She became a citizen after the domestic violence. So I went to the Pakistan. I married with her. She came at the United States.
So she got her green card through VAWA, and now you're marrying a second person.
Yes.
And okay, so I think you have a bigger problem than whether or not those kids get counted on the affidavit of support. I think your bigger problem is that they're going to know that you had that domestic violence charge. They're going to know they gave someone a green card based on domestic violence, and they're not going to want to let you sponsor a second person to come to the United States.
So what I have to do, Jim?
Well, I mean, you can start the process, but you have to understand it might not work. They don't like letting people bring people to the United States
So
to get
yes,
abused.
so yes. Actually, the Jim. I don't want to tell anything lie. So she just like created the drama. So she called the cops. The cops came. I've been arrested, and after that they like they charged me like 273.5, and then they dropped the charges and they just gave me the the just like anger management classes,
Yeah,
52
but
weeks.
right, but if they gave her a green card based on VAWA,
No. She already had the green card.
ah,
So she was living with me like almost 6 years.
okay. Did she have to file a 751 or did she get a 10-year green card when she came?
Yeah, when she came, she already had the 10 years green card.
Okay. So
I
did she ever notify USCIS of the violence or the abuse?
I have no ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's your question for me?
So my question is, so if I already petitioned like 1 year ago, so anything like happen, so when like my times come.
So I-130 for the new wife is still pending. It hasn't been decided.
Yes.
And then you're wondering when you get to the national. Well, what do you on your taxes? How many dependents do you list?
No dependent, just single by myself.
And do you have records that show that you support your children?
Yes, I always support. I don't have any like single penny pending on
Good.
me.
Yeah. So then it should just be you and your spouse on the affidavit of support. So you shouldn't have to list the kids. No.
No.
Mm-mm.
So what about the gym? So like you said like they never let me bring the another wife at the United.
Generally they don't like to let people bring two wives to the United States. They don't like, so it's going to be harder. She's either a citizen now or has her green card. So it's going to be a hard fight. And plus Islamabad sucks. So I'm not saying it's not going to work. And I'm glad that she had her green card independent of the domestic violence. But if you can show that the domestic violence charge didn't really lead to anything and it got dropped.
If like I have like hired any attorney, so in this case, so how about that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it would help.
Yeah, because the thing is that it's happened like 6 years ago, 2018. So I got married last year.
Yeah, but
So,
the most important thing, Asif, and I have to go because we're over time.
Okay, no.
It's okay, you're fine. The biggest thing is you have to make darn sure that your new wife knows all about that. Because if your new wife doesn't know about all that and she goes to that interview, then they're going to say that you're hiding it from her so that you can bring her here and abuse her too.
Everything she knows. She knows my kids. She knows my kids' name, school, date of birth, anything she knows. Is the conviction she knows. I did not hide anything.
Okay,
Everything
buddy.
she knows.
I gotta go.
Can I call you and like hire you?
Yeah, for sure. Or email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, or you can call us 314-961-8200. Either one, okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you, Jim.
All right, thanks,
Thank
Asif.
you.
All right, so we'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central, an early show for Hina so she can relax on her weekend. I wanted to end with that, to ask everybody to leave us a 5-star review on reviewhackinglaw.com. And finally, we'll close with this quote from Rich. Jim was my therapist throughout my immigration journey. I think I would be a good therapist. I pray Jim goes live daily so I can ease my mind, and now I'm free. Thanks again for all the good work you're pulling off for immigrants. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central. Have a great night, everybody. Bye, Huli.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.